Today we will see the lecture about instruments which are commonly used in gynec and obstetric routine clinic and OT also. So we will just have the brief introduction about these instruments. We will start with some basic instruments, those which are used for clinical examination and as well as it is used for the various types of surgical procedures. These instruments are actually metallic things, but some instruments are now replaced as a disposable instruments. So a structure and the shape of instruments that we will see in these slides, and we have to identify these instruments and we should know the name and basic use of that instrument. So we will have these types of instruments. So now this is the first instrument, which is a very common instrument, and it is used in all the surgeries, all the major and minor procedures, even in CLWs for stitches and other things. So this is very basic instrument. It is used in gynec, obstetric and all the surgeries. That is the instrument which is artery forceps. So name of that instrument is artery forceps. The artery forceps is like a scissor, but it have got typical end which clamp or catch the arteries, and because of that it stops the bleeding. So you can see the end of that artery forceps, which is very sharp, and it have a typical cutting type of end, and by that we can catch the artery and we can clamp the artery. When we hook the fingers in the artery forceps handle, in that there are three types of lock. We can lock the artery forceps in three stages: first, second and third. When we want to close it by tight thing, we can have third type of lock. So this is about artery forceps. Okay. So in this instrument we can see these are the locks where we can lock the artery 1, 2, 3. If we want to lock this in very tight manner, we can lock it this end. If it should be relaxed, first, medium is second, and it is third. So these are the locks of artery forceps, and this is the end, or which is the sharp end, where there are tooth-like projections. By that we can catch the artery and we can clamp the artery so that bleeding can be stopped. So this is artery forceps. In that we have got three types of artery forceps, like size small, medium and large. And this end is also, in some artery forceps it is like a curve, so curved artery forceps and straight artery forceps. So this is the artery forceps. It can be used as a hemostat for clamping the bleeding vessels during any bleeding, and also to grasp the tissue while doing the surgery, during opening and closing peritoneum especially, and also used to hold the sutures. So this is the basic indication for artery forceps. This is the second type of forceps, which is called as Ellis forceps. This is again a type of forceps. All the forceps have got this type of locking system, where we can lock the forceps by three types of locks, where these locks are lock the things, or when we catch the object we can have the proper locking system. So this is the Ellis forceps. Now the Ellis forceps, end of Ellis forceps, where we have got 3 to 4 types of small tooth-like projection. So it is Ellis forceps, and the indication of this is to grasp the structure, like any peritoneal sheet or any skin or fascia. We can grasp that with that Ellis forceps, and mainly it is used in tubectomy and cesarean and hysterectomy. So that was Ellis. This is the Ares spatula. By this is a disposable thing, and we use this spatula to collect the various types of fluid. Like in gynec and obs, we use this spatula for collecting the cervical smear, like for pap smear. So indication is for taking pap smear for screening of CA cervix. This is made up of wood, so that it can, but nowadays it is a disposable thing. And long end is inserted into the cervical canal, and it is rotated in 360 degrees, and so that we can get the proper smear. So this is used in the pap smear. This is the Babcock's forceps. Just now we had seen the Allis forceps. The shape of Allis forceps and Babcock forceps is little different. Locking system is same, but the shape of this Babcock's is different from the Allis. So this is Babcock's, and it is again used for the grasping of fallopian tubes, and so used for the various types of surgeries like tubectomy, appendix and other types of surgeries. This have got very blunt tooth, so they can safely used. Allis have got some sharp tooth, so that should be used carefully. Now these are the tubal ligation applicators. These are used for the tubectomy. Especially laparoscopic tubectomy, we use these type of instrument used for the fallopian tubes in laparoscopic surgery. We will have these types of instruments in laparoscopic attachments. This is very common instrument which is called as Cusco's speculum or duck speculum. Nowadays this is a metallic thing, but nowadays this is available in the disposal form also, so we can use and throw that instrument. Now in Cusco's speculum, it have got anterior and posterior lip. We insert this in vaginal cavity and we open that, and we can see the genital cavity for any detection of any abnormal growth, discharges, or to visualize the genital organs. So this is the double bladed vaginal speculum used for OPD procedures and also for having pap smear and insertion and removal of copper. So basically it is used for routine PSPV examination, per speculum examination. We use this Cusco's speculum. This is the Doyon's retractor. We had studied about this retractor in hysterectomy to retract the abdominal wall. Also we had discussed in LSCS and cesarean especially, where we retract the abdominal cavity uterine wall with this retractor. So this is the Doyon's retractor. It is a metallic thing. We have to autoclave this before any surgery. This is the Devar's retractor. This is also for retraction of deep structures. These are the retractors which we use for retraction of abdominal wall or deep structures or fascias, so that we can visualize the inner organ. These are again the retractors, for self-retaining retractors. This is the set of retractor which we use for retracting the abdominal wall. These are applied, as we can see, these are applied on the transverse side and anterior posterior, so that each and every side of abdominal wall can be retracted. This is the right angle retractor which is used for the tubectomy surgery, where we retract the pelvic cavity and we can visualize the fallopian tube. So we use these retractors for retracting the abdominal wall, like operatives as LSCS, that is cesarean, hysterectomy and laparotomy. Now we will see about scissors. These are different types of scissors. This is called as, first one is Mayo's scissor, which is curved, and second one is straight. These are simple scissors. Scissors, as we all know, used for cutting purpose in operation theatres as well as in OPD. This is Bonney scissors, simple scissor. This is Medzan scissors. It's a simple scissor, but this scissor have got the typical end. We can see the Mayo scissor where the ends or the blades of scissor are little bit broad, and in this type the blades or the lip is very sharp and it is very narrow. So whenever we have got fine surgery, we use this scissor. Now this is episiotomy scissor, which is a little bit curved, and the shape is for giving episiotomy. Episiotomy is the procedure which we perform for the normal vaginal delivery to increase the space for delivering baby. So this is the scissor which we can use for episiotomy. During episiotomy we use this scissor to cut the pelvic floor. So episiotomy, which is given, especially given in primary patients, and this is given under local anesthesia, and medial lateral incision is taken for this episiotomy. We will discuss this episiotomy in normal labor. So that scissor is used for episiotomy. Now these are the towel clips. We had studied basic preparation of patient during operation. We had discussed cleaning and draping of abdomen, and we apply the autoclave towels on the operative sides, and we clamp the towel so that they will be in proper position, and for that we apply this towel clips. Also to holding for different instruments we can apply this towel clip. It's used for draping of the area and also fixed to the skin and other clips. So that can be used for fixing the sheets and other things. Those were towel clips. These are vaginal clamps which can be used for clamping of vagina, for cutting in vagina and Wertham's hysterectomy. These are the biopsy forceps. Those are used for the biopsy to remove the tissue or the product. So we can get that product from the site. This is the dissecting forceps, which are tooth forceps. At the end there are small tooth-like projections. So these are the simple forceps which we use in routine OPD and other procedures. This is tooth forceps. This is plain forceps. There is no tooth at the end, so it is plain forceps. To hold the structures like various types of tissue, skin and other structures we can hold with the forceps. This is the Foley's catheter. This is actually a disposal thing and it is a pack thing. We remove the pack, a sterile pack, while doing the insertion of Foley's catheter, and there are number written on this catheter, 14, 16, depending on the patient. Male catheters and female catheters are different. 16 number is usually used for the male and 14 is for female. So we have to decide the number of Foley's catheter. After this, we insert this catheter. This side is inserted into the urethra, and from this side we insert or we inject the 10 cc distilled water and we inflame the balloon. Balloon is enlarged and it remains in the urinary bladder, and this catheter can remain in the bladder for more than 10 to 15 days or for more than 1 month also. So this catheter, when we have to remove this catheter, we remove this distilled water from syringe so that this balloon will deflate and we can remove the catheter very easily. So that is Foley's catheter. This is self-retaining catheter for drainage of urinary bladder, used in the operations like abdominal vaginal hysterectomy, Wertham's hysterectomy, and also in repair of fistula. Also used for diagnosis of incompetent cervix, sonosalpingography. So there is a balloon which inflated by normal saline, and other channel is for drainage of urine which is attached to the urine bag. So that is about the Foley's catheter. This end we insert the distilled water and this end is attached to the urinary bag. That is about Foley's catheter. This is plain catheter, simple catheter. This catheter actually we use for emergency purpose. We just insert this catheter in urethra and we remove the urine whenever there is any obstruction or any emergency. Otherwise we use Foley's catheter. In plan surgeries and other thing, usually we give reference for the Foley's catheter, and as it is a sterile thing. This is non-sterile thing. We do autoclaving and other things, but it is non-sterile. So for long purpose we can use Foley's catheter, and for emergency purpose we can have this catheter. So indication is to empty the bladder in retention of urine, and also used as a tourniquet in myomectomy operation as a clamp. This is female metal catheter. These types of catheter are metal catheter. To empty the bladder prior to major operations, it minimize the injury to bladder, to confirm the diagnosis for strophcystosis, and it's not used in obstetrics to avoid trauma. This is again a vaginal speculum which is called as Award's self-retaining posterior vaginal speculum. This is the speculum which we used in colporrhaphy, vaginal hysterectomy. Also it can be used when operation is done under general anesthesia, as it is a heavy thing, so it requires assistance. So this is the Award's self-retaining posterior vaginal speculum. This is green Armitage forceps. This is a special type of forceps which have different opening or end. This is used as a hemostat in cesarean, as the tips are broad wide area, so that the area which we clamp with this can be compressed. So in LSCS, the cut uterine edges bleed. This forceps is applied to the angles and lower and upper edge of the incision. Common indication for LSCS are fetal distress in first stage, CPD, abdominal presentations, transverse lie, brow and breech presentation, previous scar of uterus. So all these conditions in which we do LSCS, we can use the this type of forceps. Now we will see about cervical dilators. Cervical dilators we use in D&C, dilatation and curettage. This is the Hagar's dilator or Das dilator. This dilator have got set of 10 dilators, and this is Hawkins dilator, but common dilator is Hagar's dilator from 2 cm to 10 cm. This is the Hagar's dilator set, and this we used for dilatation of cervix, for D&C, dilatation and evacuation, hysterectomy and many other things where we have to dilate the cervix. So this is Hagar's dilator. Now this is the Cox forceps. This is again type of forceps where we have special type of clamp. This is used in hysterectomy to hold the fallopian tube, and these blades or the tips of this forceps have teeth so that tissue does not slip. We can clip the tissue tightly. The blades can be straight or curved, and this instrument is used in hysterectomy for clamping of fallopian tube. So in short, this is used for clamping of fallopian tube in many types of surgeries. Also it can be used for clamping of umbilical cord. After birth of baby, we clamp the umbilical cord of baby so that there should not be reverse blood flow. So clamping of umbilical cord can be done by this instrument. Also for rupture of membrane, if we want to do the artificial rupture of membrane in induction of labor, we can use this type of instrument. This is menstrual regulation syringe. By this syringe we can evacuate the product of conception when pregnancy at the early stage. This is for menstrual regulation. This capacity is 50 ml. It have a valve. The piston when withdrawn can be locked and creates negative suction. Rubber attachment at the tip. Plastic cannula can be inserted in uterine cavity, and we can empty the uterine content. But the complication is procedure can be incomplete. For this end, we can apply the plastic cannula, and that can be inserted in uterine cavity, and we can aspirate the products when pregnancy is very small. At early stage, detection can be done. This is the insufflation cannula, Rubin's cannula. This cannula is used for tubal patency test for infertility. We pass this cannula from the tube. If tubes are open, we can pass it easily. If there is any obstruction, we can know the obstruction. Laparoscopy also, we can use this for passing the dye. So that is about. This is also a cannula, Litch-Wilkinson's cannula, which we use in hysterosalpingography. Again it is used for the tubal patency to know the tubes are open or not. This is used for the laparoscopy, these types of cannula. This is very common instrument which is called as needle holder. We use this for having sutures. We hold the needle at this end and we lock the ends by this end. We can lock the needle holder. This is used for grasping the needle while suturing, and it is a very common instrument used in all the surgeries for holding the needle, because in each and every surgery we have to give stitches. So needle holder is the instrument which we should know, and we have to be aware to how to handle this instrument. We can lock this instrument at this end, we can lock the needle at this end, and we can do our work, that is stitches can be applied with this instrument. This is ovum holding forceps. Shape of this forceps at the end is like ovum, so it is ovum holding. This is used for removing the product of conception in abortion, MTP. This tip is rounded on like a ovum shape so that that cannot perforate the organ. From this end, we grasp the products of conception, fetal products, and we remove out after dilatation and curettage. If any missing piece of membrane or placenta is there in uterus, we can catch with this end and we can remove that. So that is ovum forceps. This is the dilator, but cervical dilator, but it is not commonly used. We can use the dilator. Commonly used dilator is Hagar's dilator. This is vaginal wall retractor, or this is also called as curate. This is used for the instrument is used with the Sims speculum, and it have blunt loops, so it can also curate the vaginal cavity. Also it is used to visualize the proper cervical cavity. This is again the Sims speculum. This Sims speculum is very common instrument. It is a metallic thing, but as we had discussed in Cusco's also, nowadays these things are available as a disposal. We can insert this in vaginal cavity, and we can visualize genital organs, cervix and any other things in genital cavity by this Sims speculum. So this is very common instrument used for the inspection of vagina in OPD procedures. Complete visualization of vaginal wall can be possible. So used in all the procedures like pap smear, insertion and removal of copper T, colposcopy, all the operations like D&C, biopsy, hysterectomy, each and every operation or each and every gynec procedure we need this Sims speculum. Again in obstetric we can use this instrument for MTP, MTP in first trimester, second trimester, for inspection of rupture of membrane, for forceps delivery. So each and every OPD procedure, IPD procedure in gynec and ops is related with this Sims speculum. This is a sponge holding forceps. We can hold the sponge like structure, or we can hold the structure as it have got the typical end. This opening at the end are like sponge. This is used for holding sponge or gauze piece for painting an area, or before preparing the patient of any surgery we can use this. Also we can grasp the cervix by this sponge holding, as it does not have any teeth or sharp end, so we can catch easily. Also in second trimester we can use this for holding the cervix, so that there will not be any injury. For exploration of cervix after forceps delivery, LSAS also it can be used, because it does not have any sharp end at the end, so we can use for holding the soft tissue organs. This is the suction curate. When we apply the suction machine for removing the fetal products, we can use the suction curate. This is for the MTP, suction evacuation method, and we can use a suction machine with this curate. This is the cerclage needle, Shirodkar's needle. This is used in the cervical cerclage operation for cervical incompetence. Putting the stitches around the cervix. Whenever patient has cervical incompetence and because of that she have habitual abortion, we give the treatment of cervical cerclage surgery. We tight the cervical lips so that patient does not have abortion, and for this this instrument is used. These are the scalpels or surgical blades. You all know this. We all use this for dissection. So this is the scalpel. Different types of blades can be attached, and depending on the surgery we decide the number of blade. These types of blade have some numbers, 11, 15 or like that. So we decide the number of blade depending on surgery, area of dissection, and these things we use for dissection or for incision. These blades are used for taking different types of incision. This is uterine curate. This curate we use for dilatation and curettage. We curate the uterus, or we clean the uterus by this end. We have to curate this uterus until we have got a typical grating sensation, a sound we can hear. And if at all we continue the procedure, that can perforate the uterus. This is the double-ended curate. This end is sharp and this end is blunt. So if we want to use blunt end, we can use the blunt side, and if we want to use sharp side to separate the fetal product, we can use the sharp end. So a double-sided curate or single-sided curate can be used. This is again a Sherman's curate, but it is a very sharp thing, so used very carefully. So these are the curates which we used in D&C. mainly for MTP, for detection of carcinoma, for tuberculosis and other thing. When we have to take the sample, uterine endometrial sample, we can use this curettes. These are the dressing forceps used for various types of to this uterine cavity. This is the uterine sound. This have got typical markings, so we can measure the length of uterus. We can pass this uterine sound in the uterine cavity and we can measure the length. About 5 cm from the tip, it's blend to make the angle of 30 degree, and it has marking on it for a measurement. It have got typical angle which can help for the proper measurement, and it is related with the curve of uterus, as it is an anti-flexion attitude used for measuring of uterocervical length, length of cervix. So usually it is used for detecting the any congenital disease, size of uterus, cervix, so that is uterine curette. This is tissue forceps. We can grasp the tissues, or we can hold the polyp or fibroid with this tissue forceps. These are uterine holding forceps. When we have to fix and steady the uterus for any conservative surgery, we can use that. These are cervical occlusion clamp. These clamps can be used when we have to do the tubal patency test. This is myoma screw. This is usually used for the fibroid surgeries. This is myomectomy clamp. This is also used in myomectomy. This is bladder sound. Bladder sound is the instrument which is used for the used to define the extension of bladder cystoscopy and vaginal hysterectomy. So this instrument is used for that. This is a loop hook used to remove the IUCD. When we insert the copper T for removal of copper T, when the thread is not seen, when the thread is missing, we can use this instrument which is called as loop hook. We can grasp the copper T with this and we can remove it very safely. These are the cautery. Cautery we had seen in many types of surgery. We apply this cautery so that immediately we can cauterizing the vessel and we can stop the bleeding. Now these are the laparoscopic instruments, chopper and cannula. This is the way is needed, but we will see this in detail when we discuss the laparoscopy and hysteroscopy. This is the pessary which we had discussed in retroversion, prolapse. We insert this pessary in the genital cavity so that uterus can be replaced at the normal position. This is ring pessary. This is these types of pessary. These are metallic pessary and disposal forms are also available. This is Hodge pessary which is commonly used, and this is ring pessary. This pessary is commonly used for replacing the uterus at the normal position in prolapse, first degree up to second degree, and in retroversion. Now this is the valcellum. This instrument is for grasping the cervix, and we use this instrument in insertion of IUCD, biopsy, D&C, MTP, suction evacuation, many procedures, hysterectomy, as we can grasp the structure or any organ with this because it does not have sharp end. This is again a single toothed valcellum. This same D&C and other procedures, operative procedures, we can use that valcellum. This is again the tenaculum, but the ends are very sharp. So careful monitoring for this application used for laparoscopic and hysteroscopic procedure. These are forceps which we use for forceps delivery of baby. These types of instruments we will see in the later section. This is the fetal stethoscope or fetoscope. From this end is applied on the abdominal wall, and from this end we can hear the FHS, fetal heart sound, auscultation of FHS. Nowadays this is not commonly used, and these are the umbilical cord clamp. These clamps are applied on the umbilical cord of baby immediately after delivery so that reverse blood flow is controlled. This is the umbilical cord cutting scissor. We cut the umbilical cord by this scissor. This is ventoused or the vacuum extractor. We apply this vacuum on the baby's head, and in obstructed labor we can deliver the baby by this vacuum. This is a metallic cup. This is a metallic cup. This we apply on fetal head, and this machine is attached, and it is an electric machine, and we give negative pressure and we deliver baby. So this is the ventilus. Now these are the catguts or sutures. We had discussed about many procedures from cesarean to other surgeries. So nowadays we use the special sutures for stitching of various types of layer, and the common suture is catgut. So this catgut have a needle inside it and a special type of thread which dissolves or which remains. We use different types of sutures for suturing different layers. We used the sutures Vicryl catgut for suturing the skin, superficial fascia, peritoneal layer. So it is just for introduction, that chromic catgut. This is the common suture, and we use this for suturing episiotomy and tubal ligation and LSCS. This is again type of catgut 20. It have got number of catgut and the shape of needle inside it. This is Vicryl. This is absorbable suture. That catgut, it does not absorb, and this gets absorbed within 90 days. So these types of suture. This is Ethilon. This is also non-absorbable suture, so that we can use this suture whenever we don't want to absorb that suture on the external layer, where we want these stitches to remain at that layer. We can use this Ethilon, catgut, these types of suture, and where we want to dissolve the suture automatically, we can use the absorbable suture. So these types of sutures we can use for stitches of different type of layer. So these types of instruments and various types of things which we use in OT, that is the just brief description about it, and it is related with your practical things and also for the OT and clinical things. So that was introduction about instrument and basic OT articles.